We have a customer named Steve with a 2026 911 GT3. Steve called and said, I made a big mistake. The dealer allocation was a last-minute thing, so he only had a couple hours to spec the car and place the order.
Are you interested? I know you are.
And in the heat of the moment, Steve decided to spec the 18-way comfort seats. And those seats are fine. But let me tell you something about Steve. I saw him at the track this past Sunday, and he told me that this year he's had a stretch of 7 track day weekends in a row.
In a row?
Steve may be the biggest track day junkie I know. He spec'd the comfort seats because he told himself he wasn't going to track his new GT3. But obviously he was trying to deny his nature. So within a week of getting the car, sure enough, he took it to Road Atlanta. Comfort seats are good enough for a track day for a lot of people. But when you're used to Porsche's excellent lightweight carbon buckets and 6-point harnesses, they are not enough. So we needed a solution. And the first step was to confirm that the car would still function properly with the seats removed. Some cars won't let you drive them at all if you disconnect the seats factory wiring harnesses, and we didn't know anyone at the time who had done a seat swap in a 992.2. So our tech Kevin disconnected the seats, and we took the car for a test drive to find out how this GT3 would behave. So Kevin has disconnected the seats. So we have airbag and occupancy sensor warnings, and we were afraid that they would be intrusive. Apparently on the C8 Z06 and maybe all the C8s, they won't let you drive the car if you disconnect the seat. So if you want to put a bucket in, you got to do some tricks. Unfortunately, that means I am unable to slide my seat forward. If you want to get factory carbon buckets after the fact, you're paying a huge penalty. I think it's $10,000 per seat or more.
What?
Compared to, I think the option is only maybe $7,000 when you spec the car. So if you want to see like on the dash, I don't know if you can get it, but there's 2 little warnings. And I think we were afraid that the car was going to be constantly complaining. So we got our little warning there. And then we got another one here. I can live with that. The test drive proved that the car was going to be okay with aftermarket seats. So we put a plan together. Leather-trimmed bucket seats, a half-cage powder-coated in Porsche PCCB yellow, 6-point racing harnesses, an aggressive alignment, and one important detail that a lot of people might miss. When the cage arrived, it was time to begin the install. Not only do the stock seats come out, but most of the rear interior has to be removed. It's helpful if you have a Porsche-trained tech like Kevin who understands how everything goes together, because you don't want to damage your brand new car. The seats and harnesses arrived. For the half cage, we chose the GMG Racing LMS harness bar. This ships in 2 pieces so it can be bolted into the car, and GMG will powder coat it in the color of your choice. Steve likes yellow, so we chose to match his brake calipers. Kevin is a true enthusiast, and he prides himself on doing the job properly, even if the customer won't directly see the extra effort that goes in. But I guess we recorded this, so Steve will see it. Hi Steve, how's it going?
People know me.
The GMG cage is a very precise fit, and Kevin had to jack up the car in order to flex the chassis just enough to get everything lined up. Normally, I am a fan of DIY installs, but there are some jobs that are best left to the experts, and I think this is one of them. For seats, we chose the Sparco QRT Performance model. They're trimmed in Italian leather and Alcantara, so it's a great option for a car that's going to see street driving in addition to track days. These have fiberglass shells and retail for $1,650 each. Sparco also offers a carbon fiber version. For the mounts, we chose the Competition Motorsports Ultimate Race Seat Mounting Kit for Porsche in satin black with Recaro sliders. Each of these mounting kits costs about $600. Getting everything lined up and assembled properly is time-consuming, but high-quality parts make a big difference. One thing I love about Steve is that he never got over the joy of putting stickers on his toys, and we're honored that several of his cars feature Wolf Pen decals. Our go-to 6-point harnesses are the Schroth Flexi 2x2. My favorite thing about premium harnesses is that it's easy to adjust the straps. That might not sound like a big deal, but there is nothing more frustrating than trying to get out on track because your session is starting and wasting minutes trying to get your harnesses on. These retail for $665 per set, and you'll be happy you spent the extra money. Schroth includes specific instructions for how their harness straps and buckles should be installed, and Kevin always reads the instructions.
Right.
One of the very best features of the Porsche lightweight carbon bucket seats is they preserve the use of the 3-point belts for street driving. We wanted to do the same thing, but the aftermarket bucket seats don't have a recessed area to accommodate the factory buckle. Kevin was able to source a set of Jeep buckles from the local dealer, and that did the trick, so Steve can use the 3-point belts for street driving.
With the seats, cage, and harnesses installed, it was time for an aggressive alignment.
You can't get a race car level alignment out of these cars from the factory, but the stock settings are very tame and the GT3 really benefits from extra negative camber. There was one last detail to take care of. Porsche's engineers usually cover every aspect of performance driving, but modern 911s and Caymans exhibit horrible wind buffeting with the windows down at high speeds. Luckily, there are several companies providing solutions in the form of wind deflectors that mount just in front of the front windows. The Virus kit we installed on Steve's car costs about $300. This DB Carbon model costs closer to $450 with shipping. And with the project wrapped up, it was time for my favorite part, the shakedown drive.
To put aftermarket bucket seats in a GT3 is like, what? I wonder if the existence of the 3 RS kind of gives the GT3 like semi-sleeper status. Because it looks a whole lot like the Carrera. Obviously this is different. There are quite a few differences, but especially in a subdued color, it flies under the radar a little bit.
GT3 is now an underdog.
My understanding is that you will have a hard time getting into one of these for less than $300,000, so maybe underdog's the wrong term. I think that this seat really suits the car too, both visually but also in terms of kind of the mentality of it.
It's not bad.
No.
It's not uncomfortable.
I desperately want to find out what this is like, either in the mountains or on a racetrack. I don't care which.
Both valid options.
But we'll settle for Milton.
Milton, downtown roundabout.
I am going to do the full roundabout one time. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, wow. That was a brisk pace. That was, might as well round down to 0% of what the car can do. It was like nothing. These are so good. It's hard to describe what I'm feeling through the wheel and my butt and my feet. The suspension's level of compliance and also communication kind of simultaneously is next level. It's like the difference between, you know, wearing snow boots and being barefoot in terms of how much you feel. And, you know, a lot of that is down to the alignment. We've pretty much dialed in maximum for what the car can do stock. It's about 2.5 degrees of negative camber in the front and a little bit more than that in the rear, and a smidge of toe in the rear and pretty much neutral in the front. And it is lively. This is really good. God damn.
You crazy Porsche.
The GT3 is an amazing street car, but with the mods and the stickers, it looks like it belongs at a track day, which is exactly where Steve is taking it. He said he's thrilled with the seats and how the car performs. So in the end, the mistake turned out to be no big deal. And if you need help with your project, give us a call.